So how many of you are taking this one tiny piece of information for granted? Let me explain. What is the probability of your dad meeting your mom? Now, although the world was a lot smaller 20 years ago, your dad could have met, let's say, 200 million women. But over 25 years, he probably met 10,000 women. So the odds of your mom being in this small group of women that your dad met is about 1 in 20,000. But we know how tricky love can be, right? So what is the probability that they stay together long enough to actually produce offspring? Well, it's a 1 in 10 chance that they talk to each other. It's another 1 in 10 chance that they go on a second date. And it's another 1 in 10 chance that they actually keep on dating a while. The odds of your parents meeting, resulting in kids, is 1 in 2,000. But that's nothing. So far, the combined odds of you being here are 1 in 40 million, which is about the population of California. Now here's where things are going to get really interesting. See, your mom has about 100,000 eggs in her lifetime, and your father makes about 4 trillion sperm during the years you could have been born. So what are the odds that the one egg, let's call that egg Sally, met the one sperm that produced you and not your brother? We're going to call that sperm Harry. So the odds of that happening are like 1 in 400 quadrillion. I don't even know what that number is. I've never even heard of it before. That is approximately the volume of cubic meters of the Atlantic Ocean. But we're just getting started. Because your existence presupposes that every one of your ancestors lived to a reproductive age, going all the way back to the first single-celled organism. And that's going back about 4 billion years. So now, what are the odds that your lineage remained unbroken for the length of human existence? Well, the odds are 1 in 2 that a child will be born, grow, and reproduce every generation. And that's going to be for 150,000 generations. So the odds of that happening now are 1 in 10 to the power of 45,000. So just to be clear, that's a 10 with 45,000 zeros behind it. And that number is larger than all the particles in the universe. Facts. So that's pretty big, right? But wait, it gets even more crazy. The right sperm had to meet the right egg for every single one of those ancestors. So that's 1 quadrillion multiplied by 1 quadrillion for every single generation. So the odds of the right sperm meeting the right egg 150,000 times, well, that's 1 in 10 to the power of 2,640,000. Okay, so let's do some more math. That's 10 to the power of 2,640,000 multiplied by 10 to the power of 45,000 multiplied by 2,000 multiplied by 20,000. And that equals, let me get the old brain working here. Let's add that all up in my head without any help from a computer or a calculator. And that's going to be 1 in 10 to the power of 2,685,000. Now, by comparison, the number of atoms in the body of an average male is about 10 to the power of 27. The number of atoms making up the Earth is about 10 to the power of 50. And the number of atoms in the known universe is about 10 to the power of 80. Okay, so what's the probability of this happening? Well, it's like getting 2 million people together and giving them each a trillion-sided dice, and when they roll the dice, they all roll the exact same number. Something like 553,4327. Yeah, I don't know what number this is. So the odds that you exist at all are basically 0. And what that means, by definition, is that you're a miracle. And just to remind you what a miracle is something so improbable that it's impossible for it to happen. Yet, you happened. This is the one thing I believe all of us take for granted. That we're not supposed to be here. But you are here. So go forth and act and be the miracle that you are. Because you are a miracle.